Welcome back. You're with our Sunday edition of Nine's Late News, broadcast across the country. Now to a real homegrown success story. Look at this. The booming swing is that of 17-year-old Sydney schoolboy Solomon Maguire. His powerful batting at the Under-18s World Cup caught the attention of US baseball giants, the Pittspurgh Pirates, and eventually led to a contract deal for Solomon worth almost $1 million. And I'm pleased to say Solomon joins me tonight from his home in northwestern Sydney. Solomon, good evening to you and congratulations.
Good evening, Peter. It's lovely to be on here.
Thank you for joining us. Now, this all began pretty much when you were a 10-year-old and Mum and Dad made a pretty big decision for you. You had to go to Japan by yourself, is that right?
That is right. And I was 10 years old and I definitely didn't agree with it. I mean, I went to Japan and I was crying almost every day. But it was something that they knew my dream and my goal was to one day be a Major League player, so they prepared me early on.
And what did you do in Japan? Were you playing in some sort of underage competition?
So I was actually the youngest in the team. I was 9 years old, 10 years old, turning 10 years old in a under-13 team where a whole bunch of Sydney boys travelled to Japan in the humid heat. It was extremely hot and we just played baseball every day, got a feel of the lifestyle over there in Japan because they're very hard workers and their first sport in over Japan is baseball. So getting a feel for what they like to do and showing us just how good we have to be at the top. It was just a great experience.
And so fast forward a bit, how did the Pittspurgh Pirates focus in on you at the World Cup a little while ago?
So it started at 14 when you started hearing of scouts being interested in me, but I was a very small kid, so they were just keeping their eyes on me. And fast forward a couple of years, and that's when I was 16, so I was the youngest player in the Under-18 World Cup team. And I was lucky enough that just before going to Korea for the World Cup, I was in Lismore for the trials, and I prepared myself the best I possibly could, and that's when they really saw me starting to excel. So although I was a younger guy, they saw my power and all my ability really started to stand out. And what they really liked about me is what we call someone's makeup, and that's how they're off the field, their mentality, how kind they are to everyone else. And I think that's what really showed them the player that I am and why I want to be better than everyone else. So they got an idea of that, and then after the World Cup, after I played really well, then Pittspurgh Pirates wanted me to go to Dominican Republic. And that's when I played against a lot of their prospects, and obviously I was the only English-speaking kid there in front of all these Latin kids speaking Spanish, and it was very tough, but I just had to get through it because I knew that's what it would be like in the future.
So you needed a ton of mental strength. You also had good manners, which obviously impressed them. But what was the moment? Did they ring you or did they ring your dad? How did you actually find out that this deal was on the table?
They contacted my dad because although he's my dad, he's also my agent, and so they contacted through him, said, look, we're really interested. He played really well. He's exactly what we're looking for. And we had other teams interested in well. It all started to fire up. But then they came and they called my dad. It was the day before I went back to high school this year, and it was 1 o'clock in the morning when we accepted the deal. So we eventually agreed to terms, and that's when I became a Pirate.
Is your dad like Jerry Maguire, the Tom Cruise character? It's show me the money if you had a whole lot of teams chasing you?
It's one of our favourite movies. He is Jerry Maguire, and he always says to them, he said, show me the money, but show me the kwan, show me the love.
So it's pretty much $1 million deal Australian, but part of that's some education money in it as well. What does that mean?
So the money that I've gotten on the side, what they call educational money, it's really up to me. Some players don't end up using that money, but it's on the side, if you want to study in the off-season or if you, for some reason, ever get injured, you have money on the side to back you up, therefore, you haven't just fallen to pass. Because, imagine getting injured. It's a really big struggle for a player when their dream was to become a Major League player. So what they've done is they've set you up, so they've, for me, they've given me enough to go to almost any university I want to, so therefore I can study and find a new life.
So we've talked the talk, now you've got to walk the walk. It's really nice to talk about what's ahead, but I would imagine you are going into a serious pressure cooker situation where no quarter is given. You've now got to prove yourself because you're being paid this big money.
Exactly right. I have to prove myself. Every day I go to the baseball field, it's not about just if I'm pleased with myself. I have to push myself and show them who I am. And I don't really like to think it as a pressure situation, as this is my dream, this is my goal. So if I'm waking up, being able to play baseball every day, I'm extremely lucky. So wake up every morning with a smile on my face, just getting ready to play baseball.
And I suppose your message as we wrap it up, Solomon, is dreams can come true for any young people watching this. If you have a dream, absolutely go for it.
It's a very important thing as a young age. You always dream about it, but you get told by so many people, no, that's not possible. But I really believe that if you turn your dream into a goal, you definitely have a chance of achieving it.
Solomon Maguire, you're a mighty story. You're a very well-spoken young man. We wish you all the very best as you become a Pittspurgh Pirate. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
17. Well, maybe Solomon might like to invest some of his baseball deal on the subject of our next story.